Imagine this for a moment. Brazil, the land of football magic, the birthplace of legends, the heart of the beautiful game. A country where talent seems endless, where kids grow up juggling footballs before they learn to walk. But here's the twist. In Brazil, talent alone is never a guarantee. Not for fame, not for glory, and definitely not for a place in the national team. Yes, you heard that right. This is the country where even legends, true global icons, have been left out of the Seleção. The same Brazil that benched stars like Ronaldinho, Kaka, Rivaldo, Romario, Roberto Carlos, names that shaped football history. Which brings us to the question shaking the football world today. Is Neymar Jr. about to join that shocking list? Today, we dive into the incredible, surprising, and sometimes controversial world of Brazilian football politics. A world where being informed doesn't always secure your spot, and where one of the biggest superstars of modern football may now be walking on thin ice. Let's begin. Romario, even a goal machine, wasn't safe. Go back to 2002. Brazil was assembling what would eventually become a legendary World Cup winning squad. And yet, one of the biggest headlines of that era wasn't about who made the team. It was about who didn't. Romario? Yes, that Romario. The unstoppable goal machine. The man who terrorized defenders. The striker whose scoring instincts were as sharp as Haaland's today. But coach Luiz Felipe Scolari made a decision that shocked the world. Romario was dropped from the 2002 World Cup squad. The reasons? His age, his declining pace, and a belief that he wouldn't fit into the team's tactical structure. Fans protested in the streets. Journalists attacked Scolari's decision. The entire nation demanded answers. But Scolari didn't change his mind. Ironically, Brazil went on to win the World Cup without him. But the debate still lives on today. Was it the right call to leave out a striker who still had so much firepower left? Roberto Carlos, even the left-back legend, fell victim. Fast forward to 2010. Brazil's coach Dunga wanted a team built on strength, discipline, and tactical balance. And in pursuit of that vision, he made another unbelievable decision. Roberto Carlos, one of the greatest left-backs in football history, was dropped from the World Cup squad. Age, declining speed, and tactical mismatch were the reasons once again. But to fans, the explanation felt incomplete. How could a player with such experience and such mastery be left out? The Brazilian public was furious. And many still believe the 2010 squad suffered because they lacked exactly what Carlos had: leadership and expertise in big moments. Rivaldo, the 2002 hero who became unnecessary. By 2006, Rivaldo was still shining brightly in Greece with Olympiacos. He was scoring, assisting, leading, and proving he still had plenty left in the tank. But to the shock of fans worldwide, coach Carlos Alberto Pereira didn't even consider him for the World Cup. Rivaldo himself expressed frustration, saying clearly, "Players with less ability than me were chosen." Imagine that. A hero who carried Brazil to the 2002 title was suddenly labeled unnecessary. It's one of the most painful examples of Brazil's unpredictable selection system. Ronaldinho, the smile of football, left out. And then comes the most heartbreaking one for many fans. Ronaldinho, the magician, the entertainer, the man who made millions fall in love with football. And yet, even he was not safe in 2010. Despite performing well for AC Milan, Ronaldinho was left out of Dunga's World Cup squad. The reason? Dunga insisted he wanted discipline, structure, and balance, not big stars. The result? A mechanical, joyless Brazil. A team that lacked creativity, lacked magic, lacked Ronaldinho. Adriano, the emperor, falls to personal issues. Adriano, once one of the most feared strikers on the planet, also faced the fate of exclusion. His physical power and thunderous shots terrified defenders everywhere. But due to personal problems, lack of discipline, and mental struggles, he was removed from the World Cup squad by Dunga. It was another example of Brazil cutting talent, even world-class talent, if they believed it didn't fit the team's image or strategy. Kaka, the pain of being left out in his own country. The World Cup was in Brazil. The entire world expected Kaka, one of Brazil's most beloved stars, to at least be included for experience. He wasn't. Even though he performed reasonably well for AC Milan that season, Coach Scolari said, "You cannot build a team based on popularity. We need balance." Brazil's campaign ended in one of the most humiliating defeats in football history, the 7-1 loss to Germany. Many fans still argue that Kaka's presence could have added leadership and calmness in Brazil's darkest hours. Firmino, the modern controversy. In 2022, another unexpected exclusion shocked the fans. Roberto Firmino, still effective for Liverpool, was left out of Tite's World Cup squad. Tite simply said, "There is no space for him." And just like that, another big name joined Brazil's long list of debatable omissions. Now the biggest question, is Neymar next? And now, all eyes are on Neymar Jr. Brazil's current coach, Carlo Ancelotti, recently commented, "Neymar is an incredible player, but he is not in form right now." Neymar has returned to Santos, trying to rebuild his rhythm, his fitness, his consistency. But injuries, recovery struggles, and lack of match sharpness have left his future uncertain. Ancelotti did say Neymar could be used as a false nine, but only if he returns to full fitness and physical stability. So the entire football world is now asking, is Neymar about to become the next legend dropped from the Brazilian national team? His age, injuries, and fitness issues are working against him. But his experience, creativity, and unmatched flair are still things Brazil desperately needs. The next chapter is yet to be written. Will Neymar rise again? Or will he join the list of Brazilian icons who were left out despite their greatness? One thing is certain. The whole country is watching. The world is watching. And Neymar's next steps could define the future of Brazilian football.